we should immediately start with your boy.
Which one?
What's his name? The union guy.
Harold
Dude,
Daggett.
I have no doubt that homie is like mob certified.
Doesn't he look like a mobster?
Did you see the tats? This guy has a sleeve. Why is a 6-year-old with a sleeve tat?
Why is he making $1 million as a union boss wearing Cartier shades?
Just the way he talks, like everything. He has chains.
65-year-old man iced out with chains and Cartier shades.
Okay, all right. I'm gonna let you lead. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean,
I know they were protesting 2 months ago because they don't want automation. Raise up to 70%. You know?
yeah, the automation was the elephant in the room for this one. Yeah, they wanted assurances that their jobs weren't going to be replaced by robo truck drivers or whatever. So I think that they had like a 100-day, like it was a 100-day pause on the strike, which I think Trump is probably trying to just get ahead of that and be like, hey, let's have a constructive dialogue with these guys. So like Trump's second day in office, they don't shut down the ports again because he's like, I really don't want to deal with that.
So are their arguments simply that these guys are making a bunch of money off our backs? They're making like triple times the money, and we just need to get a piece of that. And also, we don't want automation. So those are the two main things there. Is there more?
Yeah, I think they were looking. Automation was the biggest one. I mean, they always want a pay raise when a new contract comes. I mean, that's just a given. Like, just assume they're going to demand a raise. You know, I mean, we start out at 100% raise, and then we negotiate it down to a reasonable 75%.
Right.
But yeah, automation is the big one. And I suppose you could possibly make an argument that a lot of the port automation machines come from China, which that's something a lot of people don't know, is a lot of it comes from China. So I think the fear also is that China could just shut down our ports remotely if they wanted to. And I guess a union dock worker would never just walk off the job.
Right.
Yeah, they would never just walk off the job and leave us all without functioning ports. They would never do that. Yeah.
I thought it was funny when he was like, what did he say? Well, you got to feel the pain.
Yeah.
You got to know who's...
We're going to make you hurt. You're going to know what a longshoreman is when we're done.
Okay, so he said he met with Trump and he was praising him. Can you read what he posted?
Yeah, he actually said, he was, to paraphrase, he basically said, I am shook, I am shaking. I never thought in my wildest dreams that I would say a president was pro-labor.
Especially a Republican
Especially
president.
a Republican. He literally said Trump is the most pro-labor president he has ever worked with.
I mean, the glazing was crazy.
I mean, and they took the standard like fat old white man photo, and I mean they all got their guts out and they're shaking hands and there's that picture in the background of the photo with him and Trump and like Trump's playing a guitar, so it was like a
sidebar. Did you see Trump's new haircut?
Yeah, he's looking good.
He looks like a hillbilly. Like it's like I want to look like my people. You know what I mean? That's what he basically looks like.
He's like he went into his barber and he was like, turn me into Theo Vaughn.
That's exactly it. Yeah. But so going back to this guy, yeah. So I think this is my gripe with union. See this? They're obviously not thinking about just the future. They're literally thinking about what can we get out of this. They're not really thinking about the bigger picture. Yes, you can argue to say that, yeah, most of these automation is going to come from China, but it doesn't have to. We can do it if we want to. It's the fact that they're just saying no automation. You have to promise us we will never progress. Out of the 50 docks around the world, we're not even in there. America's not part of that. Why is that?
Yeah, I mean, West Coast ports are already automated. Like, the Longshoremen Union is mostly concerned with the East Coast.
Yes, but what does he think is going to happen? Like, in time, they're just going to go around. No one's going to use their port. So technically, he's just longing how many people are going to lose their job. Progress is not going to stop because you said, don't let it happen. We're the biggest economy, and we're not even in the top 50 when it comes to the best ports in the world.
Yeah, I mean,
what happens if we could continue on listening to people who generally only care about their benefit? They're not really thinking about future, what's going to happen. And even if in the long run, what I don't understand is like, this is like arguing, there used to be a guy who was pressing the number for the elevator.
Yeah.
We're in that situation right now. This guy's like, we can't.
What will we do without the elevator button pusher? Think of the elevator button pushers union. How will his children eat?
That's right. So I think for Trump is like, he hates China. I mean, he's trying to get back at China wherever he can. So anybody who's China's enemy is his friend. So for him, and also he just wants to be liked. He doesn't really care about the longevity of these jobs. He's thinking about in the next 4 years, I want this to look the best. I don't want anybody messing my presidency. This is the last run I have. I want to make it the best run possible. And if that means I'll give in for the next 4 years to sacrifice, like in the future, these automation, they're a lot faster. They're like 80% faster than human beings.
Yeah, and
80% faster. Do you know what kind of production is being lost by this?
You know how much cheap shit from China we could get in? If only we let the Chinese robots.
No, listen. Even what is it? The port itself. They're having like people are opening the gates instead of.
Yeah.
Do you know how ridiculous it is to have people open these gates, and he doesn't want that to change? Do you know how many lives will be saved? Do you know the fact that even if there's going to be some job loss, 100%. That's part of progress that happens. But more people will gain jobs. Like they'll get better jobs and they get better pay.
See,
that's literally happens every time. I just don't understand. And this is literally my biggest gripe about unions is that they really don't look at the future. They're only thinking about what's going to benefit my people right now.
See, I mean,
forget everybody else.
Here you are, the eve of Christmas, like an Ebenezer Scrooge, saying, "Let's throw that gate opener out on the streets. Let's make the gate opener's children go hungry for Christmas." Ebenezer Scrooge.
Well, I mean, he's competing with other ports as well. If he just continue on this run, and it's basically competition. If other ports decided to accept automation like they are, eventually everyone's going to go there. We're talking about 80% production level.
Yeah,
you're thinking businesses are just going to be like, you know what? Yeah, we don't want these people to lose their job. Let's just stick with this.
Yeah,
is that really
there's
what
some
business
massive port projects starting in Mexico right now, and thanks to Bill Clinton's NAFTA, they can just run that on a train right up, tax free, no tariff.
That's right. So I mean, again, this is why unions ruin America. I think because the small stuff like this, we don't really think about it because you obviously don't want people to lose their job, but somebody said nobody follows up. Like you'll see a guy who lost his job because of automation and he's like getting an interview. You all are very emotional about it. You can connect with this guy, but nobody follows up on this guy a year later that he has a better job and he's getting paid more. Nobody ever follows up with these guys. We're here the first story and we just stuck on that. And this is what the unions are doing. They're using that one story and we can't move. That's it.
Or he's a lifelong union guy and he's illiterate. And his big lifted truck just got repossessed, and his wife left him.
Okay, but
because he can't read.
Okay, but
because he's the gate opener.
So that's why we should stop progress because of this guy. He chose not to update his skills.
No, I mean labor unions are intrinsically Luddite. I mean, like intrinsically they are Luddite. I mean, they are anti-progress,
right,
by definition. But I mean, you also have to look at what's the stated purpose of a union and what's the actual purpose of a union. The stated purpose of the union is, we got to protect the jobs and do all. The actual purpose of the union is to enrich the leadership of the union. I mean, Harold Daggett makes $1 million per year, right?
Dude, I was hearing people defending his salary. They're like, yeah, he's in charge of one of the biggest poor. Why shouldn't he not? Well, the people he works for, if we're just talking about having a problem with the CEO making a bunch of money, they're like making $70,000. This guy's making $1 million.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, people do focus on the CEO. I'm no fan of the CEOs, but they really focus hyper attention on the CEOs. But yeah, like some of these union bosses, I mean, yeah, super corrupt. I mean,
how many houses does he have?
I believe 2.
Oh, mansions, right?
Yeah, I mean, literal palaces. I I think he has one in New Jersey in an extremely exclusive zip code, and he's also got like the standard New Jersey Guido like house down in Florida too.
Bro, it was just he
Oh,
was
and he drives a Bentley.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah, with his Cartier shades.
And he's trying to say, I understand.
I'm a working man.
A
A working man like me.
Oh my god. So yeah,
These fat cats. Don't look at me. I'm looking out for you.
Yeah, so in my opinion, this guy is just a perfect example of what's wrong with the unions. But again, we can all sympathize with them because they will say something very emotional that we can all relate to, and we get really emotional about it. But nobody's thinking logistically of it. That it doesn't matter. This is it's happening. Like there's absolutely nothing you can do about this. It's too late.
Yeah, I mean, to a degree, yeah, they are rearranging the deck chairs on the Titanic. I mean, like, automation is coming.
It's here. Are we not just talking about the cars?
Yeah, it's here. Yeah.
Self-driving car. Dude, I honestly did not think that
Waze
and Uber combined together, that now they're coming to Chicago. I just didn't think this was going to happen this fast. I feel like this is super fast.
Well,
I thought we had at least another 20 years.
There's been some teething problems with that, too. Did you see the one that got stuck in the roundabout?
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was on Twitter. There was a Waze robo-taxi. It got stuck in a roundabout. Like, I don't know how long it was in there, but the video showed it going around 16 times. It couldn't figure out how to get out. And that was just like a little roundabout in a parking lot.
Again, I expect these little hiccups, but just the fact that to actually even have it successfully run even a small area, I was just shocked. I just didn't think they could go that fast already. This is the worst it will be. You know what I'm saying? It's always that.
If it can't navigate a roundabout, how successful was it really?
I mean, it's just to get you point A to point B. How many rides have they done that so far? So there's gonna be some bugs.
There's gonna be a few people who get stuck in the roundabout and throw up their Indian buffet lunch. You know, I mean, like, you're like, you know, you're stuck in the RoboCab. It keeps going around in a small circle, you know,
right.
and you know, you feel your stomach just starting to get more and more upset, and then I can't hold it anymore, and there's no customer service, and there's no safe word. Like, you know, it's not like BDSM sex where you can just like yell out like safe, you know, stop, you know. You can't just stop the robo-taxi.
There's no safe word. Yeah,
there's no safe word for the robo-taxi.
Yeah, so I mean, I can definitely.
So yeah, I mean, lunches will be lost in robo-taxi.
Yeah, and just going back to the union conversation, with Trump's situation, like I said, I think he's just thinking about his legacy. He's not really thinking about the long run of this. And if that means China goes down, obviously he's even all in for that. But and the other thing that is like, what is it? Even the new bill, the CR bill that Elon and him basically came together and be like, anybody who signs that bill?
Oh yeah, the new spending
these guys
bill.
Are gangsters, dog.
Yeah.
Like,
Elon's running a protection racket now. He's like, if you sign this bill, it'd be a real shame if something happened to you. Like, who would have thought that, like, in a month and a half time, Elon went from being like an autistic rocket man, and now he's a mobster running a protection racket.
Yeah.
He's running an extortion racket.
But anyway, so what was that story that you sent me about him? I didn't really like too deep into it. What I got from is like, what is it? This newspaper who's attacking him got a bunch of money from the Biden administration.
Yeah, that's really, apparently Reuters, that's how you pronounce it, right?
That's
Reuters.
Right. Yeah.
Reuters was awarded $300 million in government contracts, and in exchange, Reuters got a Pulitzer Prize, and a lot of that government contract money was
it actually, was there on a contract saying we will get this, it doesn't really matter what kind of work we put out, we will get this award? Or is it like,
I don't know what was implied or written.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, there was $300 million paid, with the expectation that there was going to be a Pulitzer Prize at the end.
Okay, but is that just people guessing onto this, or was that is there more evidence to just the fact that they won?
Yeah, I mean, I'd have to look into it closer, but
okay.
Yeah, really, Yeah, the fact of the matter is, like, a bunch of government agencies were put up to going after Elon Musk and his businesses through
Okay.
the 300 million was basically used to like go after Elon and all of his businesses like Neuralink, Starlink. Yeah, I mean,
Well, I mean, yeah, he's not the favorite right now. Since I mean, I just think it's just politics. I'm sure it's the other way it goes as well. You get what I'm saying? How much grant did he get from the government?
oh, I mean, Tesla does not exist without government carbon credits. Like, Tesla didn't make money. Did Tesla ever make money on selling cars?
I think they just recently. I want to say for a long time they weren't, but I want to say a few years back they started making money.
I mean, most of their money came from swapping carbon credits with other manufacturers.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
You know, I mean, like, for example, Transportation and Justice looked into Tesla. OSHA violations was the Labor Department, but they also looked into Neuralink for violations and fines. Transportation also looked at SpaceX for violations and fines, lawsuits, OSHA violations, National Labor Relations Board, oversight of Tesla, lawsuits against Tesla, equal opportunity employment. They went after Tesla, lawsuits and enforcement. Securities and Exchange Commission ran an investigation in Tesla.
Of course.
Let's see, SpaceX, they had the Transportation, Justice, and Labor. EPA went into SpaceX for violations. Federal FCC, they went after SpaceX for oversight. Federal Trade Commission, they were looking into X for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Court orders from the Securities and Exchange Commission into X.
Right.
Like, I mean, yeah.
But I wouldn't just simply pull it back to like the Biden administration. I think it's just it's a movement, right?
Well, the 11 agencies paid millions to Reuters. Reuters then won the Pulitzer Prize for their work on Elon Musk and his misconduct at his business.
No, I'm saying, what is it? But that's just been the landscape since he bought Twitter. He lost completely all the big mainstream.
Oh, I mean,
media,
he went from the absolute darling of the left,
right,
to, I mean, he's as bad as Trump.
Yeah, so I don't exactly. So I generally think it's just one of those cases that they're like,
oh, this is a hack job. I mean,
yeah.
Elon's getting railroaded.
Yeah, so I'm just saying I wouldn't connect it all the way to Biden. I think each department, the head of those departments, just don't like Elon, and they went ham.
Yeah, I mean,
in the sense of like somebody telling them like, hey, you should go get him. No, they're like, we're gonna get him. That's what the platform they ran on. All these people who got into these offices, their platform was that we're gonna mandate this guy. We're gonna get him.
We're gonna get Elon.
We're gonna get Elon.
We're gonna get Trump, and then we're gonna get Elon too.
Yeah. So I think it's more of that, and that's pretty predictable. It would be the same way when the Trump administration comes in. They're gonna do the same thing.
Yeah.
Are they not gonna do the same thing?
I mean, these roaches are scattering, though. I mean, like, FBI director Christopher Wray, he just resigned.
Yeah.
Like, he just resigned. I mean, like, nobody's heard from Anthony Fauci in a while. You know, I mean, far as we know, he's in Mexico.
Hey, he's waiting. He's waiting for that pardon. That's what he's waiting for.
Oh, I mean,
he's gonna get it. Do you think he's gonna get it? I think he's gonna get it.
For all crimes, past, present, and future.
20 years. Let's just say 20 years.
Yeah, I mean, how old's Fauci? 80? I mean, theoretically, he could live to be 120. So, I mean, let's just pardon Fauci until the year 2065.
Yeah. So, I think it's just a political game, and most media in general, newspapers, all of them are just, we got to take Elon down. Like, we got to find something. It doesn't matter what. Just throw everything at the wall. Get this guy. How dare he go to the other side? How dare he say that we're on the wrong trajectory?
Elon stole Twitter from us. He stole Twitter.
I mean, wasn't it a point where they were saying that he stole the election?
Yeah.
Because remember the story they were telling that, what is it? He was in the election.
Yeah, like Starlink and some crap like that. Yeah, like they use Starlink for some reason.
Yeah, and then just the night of the election, I think they said, like, there's some guy was talking about it. I don't know if he was like, Elon was just sitting there. Oh, he was with Dana White.
Oh yeah,
So
he was
saying
like tweeting election results before they were officially out.
Yeah, and he was like, "All right, Trump won," and he just left like before even they announced that Trump was gonna win. Like 2 hours ahead, he's like, "Yeah, he won. We're done here," and then he just leaves. And people hearing that, they're like, "Whoa."
Let's throw something at the wall. Well, something will stick.
Oh my god. But yeah, I don't think this is gonna be the end of it for or it could be the end of it. I think they're just kind of getting their last lick. You know what I mean? As much as lick they can get before we have a new administration.
That's the thing too. I mean, like like low information voters, headline readers.
During the election, I remember Mark Cuban said, I think they asked him because he was basically like the biggest
Mark Cuban
Kamala defender. So he was going on, and people were asking him like,
"Clown shoes Cuban."
Okay. Anyway, so they were asking him. They were asking him like, why is she not answering these hard questions? And I was so disheartened by him saying, "Well, she's connecting to the low."
She's got to connect with the low information voters.
Yeah, she's like, you guys are thinking about the high. They already know. She had to bring the knowledge down and think about just the basics. She doesn't need to go get too complex with what she wants to do for our country. And I was like, aren't you insulting Americans right there? Isn't that insulting about what he just said?
Kamala Harris is the ow my balls candidate from Idiocracy.
He's literally basically said the majority of American people are too slow to actually know what really is going on. So she just focus on the culture issue that they care about. They don't care about the economy.
The voters don't know what a tariff is. They think tariff is a phone app.
I thought that was pretty wild. I was just kind of like pretty shocked that he would say that, like, and just say it out loud. And even the other thing that he said that I don't know if he thought about it before he said it, saying that Trump doesn't have smart women. What did he say? Smart.
Oh, he doesn't have any smart women around him.
What? Like, why would you say that? How? In what world did he think that was gonna be great? Like, that's
the implication is you can't be a smart woman and not be around Trump.
That is literally like
if you were a smart woman, you'd be like, Trump is misogyny. Trump is racist. Trump is rapist.
I think it was just silly. I mean, these people they were just ruining her. Honestly, anybody who came for her, their justification was doing the opposite. They're like, wait, what?
Yeah.
More questions were coming out. There was no answers. There was just like more question, and people were like, yo, there is nothing here. We thought there was something, and we thought these people are gonna tell us what we don't know, but they don't even know.
What about when they literally admitted that Tim Walz was stuck in there to appeal to low testosterone males?
Yeah, so it's this is why they're saying just the party in general is screwed. I mean, that just remember I was telling you.
They lost their way.
Who's next? I don't know anybody who's gonna headline this platform. What? AOC. AOC. You think she?
Oh, Trump's gassing her up on Twitter as it is. He's like, AOC, you are the future of the Democrat Party.
But
you could run for president.
No, I don't think so. But yeah, it's just that they're so disconnected. It's pretty wild. And they're doubling down.
Versus JD Vance in 2028.
That's gonna be a landslide.
Is AOC even gonna be old enough?
Yeah, she's supposed to be old enough. That's why they're bringing her up.
Oh, now it's her. Now it's her turn.
Now it's her turn. What they also saying that Kamala might come back?
Oh, that would be wonderful too.
I think that
maybe she'll learn from her mistakes. Maybe this time she'll go on Joe Rogan.
Yeah. Anyway, let's go to the CNN reporter, the one on Syria.
God, Carissa Ward.
Bro, that was the funniest thing I've seen in a while.
Assad regime torturer. Dude,
I mean, the video was so good. I couldn't stop laughing. Just imagine, it's like, is someone in there? Yes, I'm in here. Dude is on a blanket.
Wrapped in a blanket with his head shaved.
First of all, if anybody who was in asylum, whatever, and they all hear the noises going around, why would he be sleeping? You get what I'm saying? He's obviously hearing people yelling around him, like getting freed, right? So why would he be curled up or except trying to say like, I'm in here, like yelling out, trying to get out? But this guy was taking a nap. And then they come in, and it's just so funny. His face. What? She's like, "Oh, come here. Here's some water." Oh yes, thank you.
I'm free, mashallah.
Homie looked directly into the sun like, oh!
He's like, I have not seen the sun in 3 months. And then he like just looks up and he's like, sunlight, alhamdulillah.
Oh, dude, he looked, like I was saying, he looks so sharp. You know what I mean? His clothes is clean. He's cut. It looked like he just got a haircut like yesterday.
Twitter had a close up on his fingernails. They were
boy.
like neck. They even had, it was like Carissa Ward's page is like just getting flamed.
Right.
And I mean, like, somebody screenshotted like the dude like looking up at the sun for the first time with his face, and he's like, his hands on his face, like, alhamdulillah, sunlight. And then they like zoomed in really close and like showed his fingernails, and they were like, next time, get a guy who didn't just get a manicure.
Just to find out that he was also one of the lords in there, just torturing people.
He was the head torturer.
That is the. It was just so. It was like a movie. It didn't even seem like
this
was real.
dude's supposedly been like locked in a fucking pit for 3 months. Not one bit of dirt under his fingernails.
Oh. So I mean, I would assume she really didn't know. Do you think it was? I mean, some people are saying staged. I don't. Do you think it's staged? I don't think it's staged. I genuinely believe that she thought she was getting that story. She's like, this is gonna be fire, bro.
I mean, there's a lot of ways to interpret this. I mean, first off, she works for CNN.
Right.
Like, you would think by now CNN would make a mistake and accidentally tell the truth.
Right.
Like, they should screw up at some point and tell the truth. Just on accident, say something truthful.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, but given Clarissa Ward's pedigree, I mean, like, you know, there was the whole rocket thing in Israel.
Yeah, what is that about? I saw the video. I just saw her like, what was that? What's the backstory?
As far as I could tell, the story was like, we're in Gaza, there's a rocket attack, yada yada.
Mm-hmm.
We're in danger. We've got to dive for cover.
Yeah, I saw them diving.
Yeah, and apparently the rockets were nowhere near there.
Oh boy.
Like in the long form of the video, you could see people like walking by on the street.
No way. Yeah,
apparently there was no danger and the Iron Dome got it.
Hold on. So the two guys that
So the whole rocket attack thing was just fake.
Hold on, because that just sounds absolutely absurd. So they were reacting this thing, and there was a guy who was recording. What the?
Yeah, literally.
Oh my god.
And I guess like people are just walking to work, and they're like, "What the hell is this?"
What is it? Okay, all right. Now I'm back in the play aspect.
Yeah, so I mean, CNN does not have a good pedigree on this, and then
that's crazy. So if they did react, man, what was she? Did she know the guy was his actual true identity? And she was like, "Why don't you go in there?" Or did they just like, "Hey, you come here.
Hey, random Arab, come here. We need us an Arab."
And you think it just happens to be this guy?
Yeah, they could have just not vetted this guy. I mean, they could have just needed somebody to like free, and this guy was just standing there.
I got this. I'll do it. Don't worry about it.
I mean, he might have volunteered. I mean, I think to give them the most benefit of the doubt, maybe this was partly an accident. But
let's get in this guy's head. The guy who was this torturer, this torturer guy. What was going through his mind? What did he think the outcome would have been? And also, how did he get to this point? You think he was like, "Oh, it's over, man. We're lost. It's done." He's like, I gotta find a way to go into the other team. Would you think this is maybe his idea? He's like, listen, this is what we're gonna do. Okay, I'm gonna go in. What if he was like the architect of this whole plot?
I mean, in a different world, this could be the plot of a movie. Because, like, let's assume, right? I mean, I don't know how, like, so Assad's regime got toppled, right? Was the prison running right up until the point when, like, HTN went into Damascus?
That's a great point. Yeah. I don't know.
Okay, so, like, let's just assume, right, that the prison's still, like, business as usual, and this guy's, like, the head torturer, and he's making like the prisoners like lick up their own blood, like we were talking about.
Right.
And, he's doing all these heinous things, pulling out your fingernails and whatever, right? Waterboarding. I don't know what he did. The head torturer.
Right.
I'm sure he was very creative. So this guy, he's going to work like normal at the prison.
Mm-hmm.
He sees the writing on the wall. You know, he's like, oh shit, HTN's coming. Damascus is falling.
It's over.
It's over. Like, I'm fucked. They're going to throw me in the pit and make me lick up the blood. He's like, I got to get out of here, but they all know me.
Right, yeah.
What am I going to do? No, I know. I'll be the prisoner. I'll get freed.
Oh,
the news will walk me out, and then I'll slip out.
That's it, yeah.
Yeah, like,
they're going to give me everything I need. You know, they'll be like,
yeah, they'll give me some new clothes and a drink of water.
Drink of water.
And once I'm outside, I'll be like, I need to go to the bathroom, and then just run away. It's so easy.
Oh my god.
So I mean, like, he might have been in the prison when the other prisoners got released.
Oh, you think this has happened? Like, oh my
What if
god,
he
they're
was at
coming!
work?
They're coming! It just slowly switches
He's
the
like-
clothes. And, all right, I'm going in here.
Yeah, like, he was wearing, like, a rubber suit, so, like, the blood didn't get on him, and he's like, oh no,
They're here.
they're here.
We got to do this right now. Yeah,
Like,
that could be
I'm
it.
fucked.
That could be it. Because
You literally could turn that into a movie.
that's hilarious. I'm just imagining like his friends seeing him. They're like, this guy, what is he doing?
Like, all the prisoners escape,
Yeah.
and they're so happy they're free that they forget about him.
It's
And
also
then
a
he's
good point,
stuck
yeah.
and then he's like left behind, and he's like, oh no. You know, but I mean, also Clarissa Ward, she was the one when the Taliban took over Afghanistan. She was the one that said, you know, they're saying death to America, but they seem friendly.
That's delusional. Death to America, but still friendly.
Well, the one that really got me was, so they went to like the compound where like the U.S. consulate was in, I think Kabul or wherever.
Yeah.
And they were talking to one of the Taliban leaders, and he actually spoke English, so they could, you know, speak to him in English. And you know, she was like, "Are you gonna make the women wear the hijab or the niqab, or what's the plan for the women?" You know, and he was saying some stuff, and you know, she's like, "Why do you make them wear this?" He's like, "Our religion commands it." And then she goes, "Does it though?"
What did he say back to that?
I don't think he knew what.
Does it though? You're telling me a Taliban about my religion?
Yeah,
a woman? Oh, dude.
Yeah, a woman literally talked back to the Taliban mullah.
I would just love to see his face. He was probably fuming. He's like, man, she has no idea.
I just hope it was lost. I want to believe it was lost in translation.
Oh yeah, like he's like, I'm not gonna say that.
Yeah, he's like, oh,
I want to interpret this a different way. There's no way I'm translating. He might hit me.
yeah. I mean, like, if I was the translator and the woman talked back to the Taliban mullah,
Yeah.
like, I mean, my face would just go blank and all the color would drain from me. I'd be like,
Ignore.
And
what
then
she
he's like,
said.
what did he say?
But
Uh,
yeah. I mean, you're right. I don't know when they're gonna learn their lesson. I mean, they're slowly just crumbling, but they're always. I just think it's funny they double down. I don't understand what the double down coming from.
I mean, they can't not double down at this point. Like, what are they going to admit? They just made it all up?
Or no, just like whatever new stuff is coming. Forget the old stuff. That's grandfathered in. Let that go. But the new stuff they're coming in, they should at least try to be like, all right, let's be a little bit more
Yeah,
objective.
we fucked that up.
Yeah, let's not do this again. But there's not, let's do this again. They're just like, oh, you're about this life? Come on in.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, though, who do they have to apologize to, though? Like, nobody watches CNN.
But I mean, I'm just saying, if they want to get the trust back, it's like the church, right? You know, the Catholic Church. You want to get the trust back, you got to start from the bottom, right?
Yeah,
The old ones are already grandfathering. They don't like you. You're not going to try to reverse their opinion. But get them when they're young. You know, the new stuff, the new information.
I mean, that's first aid 101. I mean, when you're hemorrhaging blood, apply a tourniquet.
Jesus.
CNN is just hemorrhaging viewership, hemorrhaging credibility, and they refuse to put a tourniquet on it. Well, George Stephanopoulos, apparently.
Oh, man. Yeah. Homie got
biggest loser, George Stephanopoulos.
I think that's the funniest thing ever. The fact that they have to pay this guy. Was it 15 million?
15 million, yeah.
And admit that you were wrong? Can you just imagine?
Well, apparently Stephanopoulos, he deleted his X account.
Of course.
And the fans can't find him any. Like, he just got off social media. Like, Stephanopoulos ain't around anymore.
Is he still on air?
I'd have to look.
He's at ABC?
Yeah, ABC. Yeah, I just heard like he deleted his X account and like he just got off social media. Like, we don't know where Stephanopoulos is right now.
I just don't think you can come back from this. You've lied. A guy sued you and he won. I think we're done here.
Well, and now the legacy media is in a tailspin because they're like, what are we going to do now?
We
if
can't
we
lie.
can't lie about Trump, what's our show going to be? I mean, honestly, like, Stephanopoulos, that's a real big black eye, but I think the bigger black eye is the L's Sonny Hostein's been taken.
The Views.
Yeah, The View, Sonny Hostein.
I just, it's really impossible to watch that show.
You know, there's hacks in the world, right?
Right.
I mean, The View is so beyond hackery that, like, I mean, like, The View's not clown shoes. I mean, it's clown shoes, clown suit, clown hair, clown nose.
I like to think they're purposely doing this. They're like, I feel like before a show, they're coming together and be like, ladies, how are we gonna piss him off today? Let's just say stuff. Let's just make up some stuff and agree on it. If we'll bring a guest and we'll attack him.
The only argument I would say to that is, if it wasn't legitimate, they would accidentally say something lucid, but they haven't yet.
Yeah.
Like, Sonny Hostein literally gets stopped mid-sentence by the producer, and she's like, I have a legal notice. Then it comes across as a hostage note. She's like, Matt Gaetz vehemently denies all allegations.
Yeah.
And she just looks at the camera, real blank face, no emotion. She's like, I've been informed by the legal team that Matt Gaetz denies all allegations.
She has doubled down, and I think she's one of those people who are not going to come back. Anyway, so let's move on to the January 6th. So the FBI.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
DOJ report came out that, actually, indeed, FBI had, I think, 26, they said. They call them CHSs, confidential human sources.
What does that mean?
Informant.
Okay, so they're working for the FBI, and they're going there to get information.
So, I mean, basically, it's like government speak, right? So it's
Okay.
like, if you pull Christopher Wray up in front of Congress for the January 6th hearing, and they're like, did you have FBI agents at January 6th? He goes, no, we didn't have no agents there. And that's technically true because, I mean, CHSs weren't like badge-carrying FBI agents, but, I mean, they were...
So they're just informer to the FBI.
Yeah, who were acting under...
FBI leadership. Like, they're like, hey, go in there, go in there.
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, like the Gretchen Whitmer thing.
Actually, that makes perfect sense. At first I was kind of a little skeptical about that, but that actually makes sense. The fact that, you know, they can always be like, we weren't involved.
Yeah,
they've
there
been
were
doing
no
that
agents here.
Yeah, they've been doing that for a while. So yeah,
Yeah,
to say
agent
that, like,
would imply like badge-carrying
Yeah.
sworn FBI officer.
yeah.
So now we just pull in some patsies who are acting under our direction.
How did they find out?
DOJ report.
Okay, go ahead.
But yeah, I mean, I think they said something like, so they said that 26 CHSs who were in D.C. on January 6th in connection with the events. 4 entered the Capitol during the riot, and additional 13 entered the restricted area around the Capitol.
So what was their what do we know exactly what they were doing there?
I would speculate that they were there to whip up the crowd into a frenzy and incite them into doing things they wouldn't normally do. Because that's usually the FBI's MO when they go to a riot or a rally or anything like that.
So you're saying that, like, FBI informers, they told them, like, hey guys, all of you guys go there, get them really going. You know what I mean?
Yeah, be provocative, get the people going.
Get the people going. And
yeah, I mean, this was a Buffalo jump, basically.
is a theory that they did this so Trump can look just more bad. Is that it?
Yeah, I mean, they were trying to frame Trump for like a riot or an insurrection.
Okay.
And yeah, it was actually probably these people acting under the direction of the FBI that whipped the crowd into a frenzy and provoked them into doing things they wouldn't otherwise do.
Okay. Yeah, I can see that. I can 100% see that.
Yeah, I mean, there was a book that came out, I forget the title, but the basic premise of it was that something like 15,000 FBI agents, I believe, are embedded into like Islamic religious groups to seek out terrorism.
Okay. Like undercover?
Yeah. Wait, hold on. Let me.
Is this Biden GOD who's putting this information out?
Yeah, that was the actual Biden DOJ that put that out.
Were they like subpoena? Like, why do you think they put it out?
That I.
Why would they undermine their own credibility?
I mean, maybe it's just too big to hide. But no, the book's called The Terror Factory: Inside the FBI's Manufactured War on Terrorism. It exposes how the FBI has, under the guise of engaging in counterterrorism, built a network of more than 15,000 informants whose primary purpose is to infiltrate Muslim communities to create and facilitate phony terrorist plots so that the Bureau can then claim it is winning the war on terror.
So just make up terror incidents?
Yeah.
So they can just say, we stopped it. Oh,
yeah,
we stopped
we
another.
have 15,000 informants stuck into the Muslim community to create fake terror plots that we then foil to justify our budget in foiling terrorism.
Is there examples? Do they have like one that like it was like a mainstream news that we know of? Or these were like a low level incidents?
I mean, I'm sure a lot of them are just low level.
Okay.
I mean, any of them as big as like the Gretchen Whitmer terror plot?
Yeah.
Kidnapping plot?
Yeah.
I wouldn't know, but yeah, it's 15,000 informants who create terror plots that the FBI then creates, then foil. Like,
yeah.
The FBI can only solve crimes they start.
You know, this is a good argument about why they need to shrink this down. That's what I'm saying. Like, I think a lot of people who are against big government is for this reason. They get so big that they have nothing to do.
Yeah,
so they start making up stuff.
Yeah, the FBI is self-perpetuating at this point.
Yeah.
Like, this is how big the DOJ January 6th thing was. Stephen A. Smith, right? Clown shoes Stephen A. Smith.
Yeah, yeah.
He was on his own show and he was like, what the hell is this?
I saw that. That was pretty wild. Yeah.
Yeah, like they lost Stephen A. Smith.
He
over
said,
this.
I'm Republican now. He just is. This is why I'm Republican now. That's basically what the title of this podcast.
Like, Stephen A. Smith is a complete hack. And even he was like, what is this?
He was just on The Views like last month, I believe.
Yeah.
Talking some nonsense.
You think he's going to get invited back if he says I'm Republican now?
No. It's over. He's in the blacklist, basically.
Bill Maher is a hack.
Yep.
But Bill Maher is also smart enough to lick his finger and figure out which way the wind's blowing too. And Bill Maher is like, uh-oh, I need to get ahead of this.
Yeah, but Stephen A. Smith took the step that Bill Maher could not take. Him saying, I'm a Republican now. Do you know how crazy that is to just come out and say that you're Republican instead of like being closet Republican? He literally is like, I am Republican now. What's up?
I mean, the only thing that would be better is if like they get the photo of Stephen A. Smith with like the Make America Great hat again, like Biden. That's the only time Biden smiled in 3 months. He put that MAGA hat on.
Oh my God.
He looked so happy with himself.
Oh my God. All right, let's finish it off with Trudeau.
Yeah, I mean, what can you say?
I think, what is it? Their currency just crashed like 50 cents today.
Today?
Was it? Yeah, I think it was today or yesterday. Yeah. 50.
Yeah, I looked yesterday, and I mean, CAD was like 70 cents.
Yeah, it's dropped more. It's dropped way more.
Yeah, I mean, somebody posted on Twitter that like hockey's a big part of the Canadian economy, right?
Right.
Apparently, each cent that the Canadian dollar drops
boy.
is $20 million in lost revenue for the NHL.
Oh my God. Why are they not saying something?
I mean, I think they're just like,
They're waiting for.
yeah.
I guess the crowd. It's so frenzy already. They don't need to say anything. Like it's all sides. Nobody wants this guy to continue. But did you hear he's on a vacation now?
I mean,
He's taking a 7-day vacation. So no one's gonna see him for the next 7 days while his country is obviously losing it.
I mean, let's just call it like it is, right? I mean, Canada is French, right? I mean, it's a French colony.
Uh-huh.
There's a lot of French heritage in Canada.
Yeah, it was funny to listen to their parliament.
Yeah, parliament.
Yeah, listen to their parliament to see like whenever there's French people who only speak French and someone have to translate for them.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, that's
Yeah,
very
up
French.
In Quebec, there's a lot of French speakers.
But go ahead.
But I mean, historically speaking, that is what the French aristocracy do during times of trouble.
They take
a vacation. Yeah, like like let's say Versailles, right? Marie Antoinette. The peasants are rioting. Let's get out of town.
Let's get out of here.
Yeah, we need to get out of here.
Let's go to a beautiful place.
Yeah, let's take a break.
Man, what is it? I just love the Trump troll of this whole thing.
Oh, the 51st state?
Bro.
Trudeau can be governor?
It goes, what it says.
The great 51st state.
Yo, the great state of Canada. As the financial minister resigned or was fired from a position by a governor, Justin Trudeau. Her behavior was totally toxic. She will not be missed. I just think that's funny. Like, he won't stop calling Canada the great state of...
The great state of... The 51st state of Canada.
Yeah, so I guess when the finance minister resigned, everybody was kind of like, oh boy, I mean, if she's leaving you, who's going to back you up? And at first I thought people actually liked this woman, like she was standing, but he was going to fire her. It wasn't even the fact that she was standing on business. It was more like she was going to lose her job anyway, and she was just like, I got to get ahead of this before I'm fired. You know what I mean? Apparently she was terrible. She was terrible doing her job. What is it? And to the point that he thought, like, yo, I got to replace this woman. You know what I mean? She's bringing me down, even though he's terrible as well. But she left, and then everybody was kind of like, okay, the crack is happening. And then just reading Trump's text, and I was kind of like, okay, so no one likes her either. And she basically said, what is it? She's not technically resigning of being a liberal. You know what I mean? She's kind of just like, I'll be back.
I'm taking a break from politics right now.
But anyway, Trudeau obviously haven't said anything, but the Conservative, they came out and they're like, hey man, you need to resign. And the only person who, keeping Trudeau in office right now is it NDP, the new Democrats? Anyway, their leader, what's his name? Jamit Singh.
That's a real Canadian name.
But anyway, the funny part about this is that he came out and he's like, yeah, he definitely need to resign. And they're like, okay, all right, cool. So you're gonna call an election? We're gonna. He was like, well, no, let's just wait. Let's see what the liberals do for themselves. There's no need to have a whole new election, because he's obviously afraid. Well, actually, most people are just saying that. I guess you have to work a certain amount of time in their parliament to receive pensions, and apparently his pension kicks in October, next October. So they're saying he's literally just trying to keep this going until October.
Yeah, let's just string him along until October.
Yo, that is insane. And one of the funny things the Conservative guy said was like, I guess he was in a hot brawl about driving was it Mercedes? Not a Mercedes. What was it? Maserati. He owns a Maserati.
I mean,
Maserati. I think they said the car cost like $230,000, and he's for the people. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, you remember when Macron?
Oh, the watch.
Yeah, the watch thing with Francis Macron.
Yeah.
He was like, I'm a man of the working people. And he just kind of casually turns his wrist to like the Patek Philippe.
The Patek Philippe.
That costs more than the average Frenchman makes in like 5 years.
Yeah. So, I mean, it doesn't seem like he's going to resign. The guy's on a vacation, but he doesn't have a choice. I mean, it might blow over.
I doubt it will, but I mean, like, Canada is on the absolute ragged edge. I mean, I'm not like a sensationalist type guy,
Right.
but I mean, Canada's on the brink. I mean, like Canada's economy cannot survive Trump tariffs. Like, they need us way more than we need them. I mean, that's an absolute fact. I mean,
Right.
like, a big part of like northern U.S. economies is medical tourism from Canada.
Right. Yeah.
Like, most Canadians live within 100 miles of the U.S. border. That's where like 90% of them live.
Right.
I mean, you know, the border goes both ways. I mean, we go up there for cheap prescriptions. They come down here when they need a CT scan, not 3 years from now.
Right.
You know, I mean, but yeah, we add more to their economy than they add to ours.
Yeah. So the story is that before the COVID, they kind of pledged that they're gonna take in 1 million immigrants into their country, and as the COVID went on, they took in like almost 3 million.
Yeah, I mean,
So yeah, their housing price obviously skyrocketed.
oh,
'cause there's just
housing
too
is a
many people.
catastrophe there. I mean,
That's right.
catastrophe.
The health service was already terrible, and now I think they said something like there was 4.5 million people who didn't have a family doctor. That rose up to 6.5 million people now with no family doctor. And
If
most
you
of
look
those,
at 6.5 million people over Canada's population,
yeah,
that's quite the percentage.
yeah.
I mean, do you even want to talk about the assisted suicide thing?
Go ahead.
I mean, Canada's really pushing doctor-assisted suicide for a lot of things now. Because, I mean, you know, are you in debt? We can get you a
What?
Yeah,
No way.
mental illness, debt, health problems. I
No
mean,
way. Debt?
yeah, no.
Or a doctor
Student
comes in.
loans.
A doctor would come to you and be like, "Hey, I know it's getting hard with his debt.
I know
you
these
thought
student
about
loans
killing
are a lot.
yourself?
Yeah. Have you
Are you
considered
serious?
just stopping it all?
No.
Yeah.
No. Go
Yeah.
ahead.
No, I mean, like, assisted suicide is huge in Canada.
Okay.
Like, they legalized it, and I mean, the Overton window, or like what's acceptable to have doctor-assisted suicide,
Yeah.
it's really shifted. Like, do you have anxiety? Do you have depression? Are you just not feeling it anymore? Like,
Are you having a
has
bad day?
Canada become such a dystopian hellscape that you just don't feel like it anymore?
Mm-hmm.
We can help you out.
Get in the pod.
Get in the pod.
We'll take care
And
of
then
it
the
right now.
pod malfunctions. And then we'll send in somebody to just strangle you.
So another big problem that Trump was talking about is the border between New York, Vermont, and
New Hampshire, I believe.
New Hampshire. Yeah, New Hampshire. So I think they said the numbers are like, no, from 2020 to 21, it was about 900 people were crossing illegally. And then from 2021 to 2024, over 23,000 people just crossing. And
What was the ethnicity of these illegal crossings?
Indians, Pakistans,
Chinese?
but mostly was Indians and Pakistanians.
Apparently, if you go to Quebec, that's some of the best Indian food you've ever had.
There you go. What is it? And I think they were saying that, I thought this number was pretty wild, that in the southern border, they had about, there were illegals that came in that got caught that were in the terrorist list was about like around 500. And the northern border was like twice that. It was like at 1,000, which kind of does make sense. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, they'll let anybody into Canada these days.
but one thing I learned about it is that the fact that their borders are not even allowed to stop people, so they have to call another police to stop these people. So they'll see somebody like crossing and be like, "Hey, there's a guy." Bro,
Which way was he running?
it's absolutely ridiculous. That's just silly. Like their own border patrol people they can't stop people.
Yeah,
So
I mean,
what's the point there?
it's a border in name only for the most part. I mean, you know, yeah, Canada has turned into an absolutely dystopian hellscape. I mean,
I just think of the number of people in terrorist group that number is just insane to me because the border crossing, the numbers are not that high compared to the southern border. We're talking about millions to thousands, like low thousands. But when it comes to terrorists, think about it. Million people are coming in, and out of all those people, they're only getting like 500 people in terror. But on the other side, the numbers are so low they're not even comparable. But the terrorist number of people coming in from there is just like, it's so high. It's crazy high. What? Why? Why do you think that is? Is it simply obviously they're smarter and they're aware that they're on the list? So I know Canada not restricted, but kind of loosened their. I heard they don't even do like the secondary background check. They're kind of just like, come on.
Yeah, I mean, I would assume if that's the way they're going in, it's through some form of logistically, it's easier.
Yeah,
but I mean, yeah,
And the borders are the guy that's coming back.
Tom Homan.
Oh, dude, he's
everywhere. Deport him as a family, Tom Homan.
He is everywhere. He's like, Canada need to get their shit together.
Oh, Tom Homan's turned into like kind of an overnight celebrity.
Yes. I don't know anybody who doesn't know him at this point. You know what I mean?
Oh, Tom Homan's dance card's full. Like, he's always doing speaking engagements.
Yeah, yeah. So I know that now that Canada finally, they were like, all right, we're not, they literally shut down. They're like, we're not accepting any more homeless people. We're going to wait for our health and our house shortage can keep up with just the population rise.
There's no way
it
can
too
keep
late?
up, though.
Is
It's
it
too
too late?
late. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, if you go to Vancouver, Canada, like, Vancouver, Canada is China. Like, that is Eastern China at this point.
There's that many Chinese people there?
It's all Chinese.
Oh,
I mean, Vancouver, Canada
yeah.
is a money laundering front.
Is that where that CEO from Huawei got caught? Was it in Canada?
It might have been, yeah. I
think it was in
don't know
Canada,
about
yeah.
that,
The Huawei one. Go ahead.
But, I mean, yeah, Vancouver's just a vertical money laundering scam at this point. Like, I mean, if you have money you need to get out of China, Vancouver's one of the places you park it. Along with, like, New York. New York has, like, a 30% vacancy rate.
Right.
In its apartments. Like 30% of them are just unoccupied.
That makes sense, yeah.
London, same thing. I mean, yeah, Vancouver, like, normal people do not live in Vancouver anymore. Like, it's all just, like, empty tofu drag apartments that, like, nobody lives in, nobody will ever live in. It's just parking money outside of China.
Yeah, I do feel bad for Trudeau in the sense of, like, I think something funny somebody said was like, well, his father kind of went out the same way, everybody was telling him like, yo, it's over. You gotta hang it up, man.
His father meaning Fidel Castro, or the two look exactly the same.
No. Anyway, they're like, the last moment he had to go for a walk in the snow, just to clear his mind, to be like, okay, all right, maybe this vacation is that, he needs to just go ahead for 7 days to clear his mind and come back and realize that, no, it's over. There's no other way. Like, they need a new leader. Nothing, if he stays around, nobody, who's going to trust him?
Didn't he win in a landslide last time, though? What's the problem?
Well, actually, the last time, the Conservative Party got way more votes. So maybe before that.
Oh, was it a coalition thing?
Yeah, exactly. So that's why he was saying the only person who was keeping this guy in office was the new Democratic Party leader guy. And this guy is obviously, like we said, is waiting for his pension to kick in. So he's like, he doesn't want to have an election, because if he has an election, how many people are going to lose their job in that party that been around for this long and are all waiting for their pension to kick in? Do you think they're going to want to have a new election and get challenged and lose their pension?
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely concerned about the pensions of the people ruining Canada.
Yeah, so, I mean, most people are saying maybe in January he'll step down, but nobody's saying they're going to do election, because just this guy wants his money. I mean, this guy's about his money. It's always people who say we're for the people who are all about the money. They're nothing else but the money.
Yeah, I mean, anytime a politician says, I'm a man of the people, he ain't a man of the people.
Like your boy.
Which one?
The union guy.
Oh, Roger Harold Daggett. I'm the working man.
I just cannot. I just don't understand why no one tells him take the chain off, bro. Why is he wearing a chain? And just the chain and the sleeve tattoo just threw me off, bro.
Oh, I mean, he looks, talks, and acts just like a mob boss.
Yep.
On top of the fact that he has a big old fat gut. Like, I mean, he is the whole package.
Okay. All right, we're going to wrap it up because we passed the hour. Anything else you want to add?
No, I mean, it's been a wild week in news.
That is true. Yeah. And I think just
who would have thought?
The
Stephen
government...
A. Smith. I'm a Republican now.
That's true. And then just like the government's going to be shutting down on Friday. Let's see what happens to that, you know? Let's see how strong Elon power is, you know?
I've survived government shutdowns before. The garbage still gets collected. How important is the government?
Yeah. That is quite true. I think
the toilet still flushes and the garbage still goes out.
A lot of people were pissed about the fact that they put in like, what is it, 36% raise for them?
Oh yeah.
Wild. $70,000 more.
Yeah, eye patch John McCain.
He's the one who put that in there?
Oh, Dan Crenshaw was campaigning hard for a pay raise for Congress.
Really?
Yeah. No, I mean, literally, he's John McCain with an eye patch. He's like, we haven't had a raise since 2009. You know, and then he's also been the one that defended insider trading in Congress, saying, well, that shouldn't be the only way we can make money in Congress.
Shouldn't be the only way.
We should get a pay raise.
Oh, you want to talk about Mitch?
Fall down Mitch McConnell?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, what's to say about that? I mean, he can't talk anymore. He can't walk. Now he's... What committee is he on? Ways and Means?
I have no idea.
Appropriations.
Sounds about appropriation.
I want to say appropriations, yeah. Yeah, I think he stepped down from the majority leader.
Yeah. And
now he's in the Appropriations Committee, which is one of the most important committees in Congress, right?
That's why he's around.
Yeah, I mean, that's the reason he's there.
He's gonna die. They literally have to drag his dead body, okay, from Congress for him to leave. He's not leaving.
I mean, even then, he still might not leave. Look at Jimmy Carter. Like,
oh my God.
I mean, Mitch McConnell might very well be like wheelchair bound, like with his mouth just hanging open and like flies.
Yeah.
And like, he's still going to be like, no, for whatever Trump wants. He's like, he's there just to be a thorn in Trump's side until they call the paramedics on him.
Yeah.
Him and Nancy Pelosi. Nancy broke my hip Pelosi.
Yeah, he doesn't even... Oh, that's right. When she sent to like...
Yeah, she fell down in Luxembourg, broke her hip, and she's getting a hip replacement in Germany.
That's crazy.
Yeah, Nancy Pelosi, friend of the show. We wish her all the best.
But, I guess people really... It's not... I think at a certain point, it can't just be about the money. I think it's just the power. Mitch has unlimited amount of money.
Yeah, it's the
Nancy
power.
has unlimited amount of money. It's like, I know people, I can make stuff happen. It's the power that just don't want to let it go.
Yeah, I mean, I was listening to another show and they were talking about Nancy Pelosi, and I mean, they said that's one of the hallmarks of true power, legitimate power.
Yeah.
Like, Nancy Pelosi's been the minority party now, for the last 2 years?
Yeah.
Like, when did the House flip? 2 years ago?
2 years ago, that's right.
Like, Nancy Pelosi is the minority leader, right?
That's right.
I mean, would anybody argue that Mike Johnson is in charge?
No.
Who's in charge?
You think Nancy's still in charge?
If Nancy's not in charge, I mean...
You think she's in everybody's ears?
Yeah, Nancy Pelosi is definitely behind the scenes calling the shots.
Really?
Like, that's when you have true power.
I see that there's a little headbutting going on with Mike Johnson and Trump and Eli, because he's saying that, listen, I get that this is not the greatest deal, but let's just get this over with, and then whenever Trump comes into office, we can renegotiate. But Trump specifically, even Trump, I think one of his tweets was saying that he's like, hey man, don't bring this crisis to my administration. Keep it in this guy's administration. Whatever needs to be done, it needs to be done before I come. Dude, he's talking like a boss, bro.
Like, that's how much gravity Trump has right now. Trump's not even in office, and he torpedoed the fucking budget.
That's great. But again, Johnson is like on the other side. He even rebuked what Elon said. He's like, he just doesn't understand. Like, we got to get this passed, and we can deal with this later. But it seems like he's the only one who's advocating for this to pass, and he's the House.
Yeah, what's he getting out of it?
A raise, obviously. You know, that's part of it.
Yeah, I mean, like, I've heard this before with Obamacare.
Yeah.
We've got to pass the bill to see what's in it. Nancy Pelosi literally said that. She said, Obamacare, the first bill, it was like thousands of pages. She's like, you can't expect me to read that. We've got to pass it first, then we'll read what's in it.
Yeah, and this one was like, what, 1,500 pages?
Yeah, Nancy Mace had it like printed out on the coffee table. She's like, the bill is bigger than my head. What is all this? And they give us 24 hours to read it and vote on it, you know?
Yeah, so, I mean, it already started. Like, the power of Trump and Elon combined together, it already started. So
Yeah,
it'll be very interesting to see.
Yeah,
where this
Trump's
goes.
not even in office yet, and he's already torpedoing bills.
Yeah.
Like, that's gravity.
That is gravity. All right, let's wrap this up because my head is killing right now. You know?
All
right, yeah. That was great. We'll do this again next week.
Yeah, wild week in politics.
Wild week in politics, yeah. All right.